This is WVVA in Focus, a weekly program about important issues and events in the two Virginias.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of In Focus. I'd like to welcome Brenda Workman back to the studio. Brenda, it's always great to see you.
I love being here, and I love especially that I get to cook for you today.
Yes, and you get to teach me how to cook, and our viewers at home, you could feel like you're here in our little makeshift kitchen with us this morning. So, Brenda, what exactly are we going to be making today?
Well, first we're going to make a really easy salad, and I think it would be perfect if you were going to a cookout and you want to take something with you, or maybe a church dinner. You can throw it together fairly easy, and I think it would be something a lot of people would like.
Ooh, I'm eager to learn. Okay. So where do we start?
Okay, so this is called edamame salad, and edamame is actually a soybean. It looks very much like a lima bean, but I don't think it tastes like lima beans. I think it's better than lima beans, so I'm going to start with 16 ounces of those. And they do recommend that you cook them for about 5 minutes before you put them in the salad. And then I'm going to put a can of black beans, and I drained these and rinsed them. Okay. So I'm adding the black beans. Wait till you see all the color that I'm adding to this.
Already looks good.
Yeah, and then I have 15 ounces of frozen corn, and all I did with this is just let it fall out. So I didn't even cook that, which is fine.
Okay, so we're just using a big bowl to put everything together.
Yes, and then if you want to put it in something and cover it when you're getting ready to go, that's fine. And then I'm going to do a cup of halved cherry tomatoes. Ooh. So now we got red going on there.
This smells so fresh too.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm going to just mix this a little bit, and then you're going to help me add the onions. So I got purple onions. Okay. So I happen to have a little handy-dandy onion chopper there.
Right here?
Yeah, and so you can just put the pieces of red onion in there, chop it. I need about a half a cup to add to this.
Okay, so I'm just putting it right in here and pressing down hard.
There you go.
Just like that.
Yeah, and actually one more, I think, and that'll give us about a half a cup or part of that.
Press these down. This will open up your sinuses too if you're stuffy like I am. It's like, oh, I can breathe again.
Yeah, actually, it might be better than cutting it yourself, because some people cry when they cut onions.
Yeah, they do.
So all I have to do is just take this piece out, and I've got this chopped up now in here, and I needed a half a cup, and that looks about like a half a cup. So,
oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I can take it apart like this. And these are easy to clean up afterwards as well.
Ooh, super colorful too.
Yeah, now I got the purple, and I got the red, and I got the green, and got all the colors going on here. Okay, so do you like cilantro?
Yes,
I love cilantro. It calls for a quarter of a cup. People that don't like cilantro, many of them say it tastes like soap. When I eat cilantro, I don't taste soap.
Interesting.
I love cilantro, and I think it adds to everything. Like, I could eat it on everything, but I don't add it unless I know for sure. So like if you were going to a dinner, you may leave this off, because not everybody likes cilantro. Right. So this is calling for a quarter of a cup. Okay. So that's...
I like that. This all looks so fresh too.
Oh, I know it. I love it.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're just
I got all this
all
mixed
together.
up. And then I'm going to add a little salt, and then I'm going to get you to add the lime, which is what the dressing is. Like, it doesn't have oil in it, doesn't have fat in it, it's just fresh lime juice. So it calls for a teaspoon of salt, I'm going to guess on this.
Okay. Add some salt there. Okay. So just sprinkle it all throughout.
Yep. And I'll be stirring this.
Okay.
And then what you'll want to do, it calls for 1 lime. I brought a little bit more in case we needed it. But you're just going to press that down and let the lime juice. You have to press it hard.
Press it hard. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't squirt it in my eye.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Oh, that is great.
Yep. And then when you get done with that one, we'll do one more. So it'll be a full lime. You can just throw that in here.
Okay, so put that back in there. Put another one in.
Upside down.
Okay.
There you go.
Got it upside down.
Yep.
And then just like Brenda said, squeeze hard.
Yeah.
And then there it goes. The juice just goes all in there.
It's a citrus juicer. It makes life so much easier. It catches the seeds and, makes it easier.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't know if the viewers can see the color on this, but it's so colorful. A lot of texture in there, and actually, just for good season, since we both like cilantro,
I'm gonna add some more.
I'm gonna add some more to it, So just those ingredients. So we have some, do you want to taste it?
I would love to.
I've got a plate back here for you.
And Brenda, about how many people would this serve, would you say, if you're taking this to church or to
Oh gosh,
like a luncheon?
probably 20 people, I bet.
That's great.
Yeah, just with small servings. I've actually eaten this as just a meal. Like put it in a bowl,
yeah.
and because the edamame is a good source of protein, and it's so filling, and so.
So I didn't really know what edamame was until you told me. So like, what is it exactly?
It's a soybean. It's a
Okay.
soybean, and some restaurants actually serve it as an appetizer, and it'll be in the pod. It's supposed to be some delicacy. I prefer it shelled, you know, out of the pod.
Yeah.
But you can eat it either way.
Oh, this looks so good. Check this out.
Oh, I forgot something.
What?
Oh, I forgot something.
We
It's
need to
very
add some-
important.
Oh, avocados?
Oh, yes, I forgot that. That's the most important part.
Okay, we have to add the
Let me
avocados.
just give you a little bit on yours.
Oh.
Oh, I almost forgot the most important part. The reason why the avocado is important is because it's a different texture going on. You know what I'm saying? Now you got
Yeah.
crunchy, you got smooth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna add that to my, you go ahead with
So
what you have there.
this seems like it would be like, it would fill you up too, with the beans being a source of protein.
Yes, yes. So you chop the avocado, which I almost forgot, a whole avocado. Isn't that good?
That is so good.
And you put it in the salad. And this will keep for about 5 days because that lime juice kind of keeps the avocado fresh.
Oh.
So for about 5 days, it'll keep in the refrigerator. So yeah.
Brenda, where did you learn your recipes from?
I get them different places, you know, online. I got way too many cookbooks. This particular one, I think I got it through like Plant-Based on a Budget or something was the name of the website I got this one off of, but yeah.
What are some tools you would recommend, or like what you have here today? A couple things if someone's looking to get started with making what we have here today.
Yeah, I would just, you have to familiarize yourself with things that you're not familiar with, you know? So some people don't even know that edamame is in the frozen section in most grocery stores. They don't know. But watch and make sure that you get the ones that are shelled because otherwise you're going to end up with pods and, you know, and you're not going to have the ones that are shelled. So yeah, just familiarize yourself with things that you can buy in the grocery store. This is really not an expensive dish, and it would last for a very long time. But healthy and very filling, and
And a great summer dish too. This would be great for a cookout as a dish.
yes. So you would keep it in the fridge, and you know, you get ready to go to whatever function you're going to, and now you have a cold salad to share with everybody, and it's
great.
absolutely beautiful.
Very, very beautiful, and even tastier than it looks too.
Yes.
So
yes.
again, let's talk about the ingredients for our viewers that they would need to make this.
Yeah, so 16 ounces of shelled edamame, 15 ounce, which is about a can of black beans, and I always rinse them and drain them, and then 15 ounces of frozen corn. So I just thawed that and threw it in there. A cup of halved cherry tomatoes, and then the large avocado, which I almost forgot, but it's very important to add the texture that you want there. A half a cup of the chopped red onions, a fourth a cup of the cilantro, if you like cilantro, and then a teaspoon of salt. And then at the end, put your lime juice on top of it.
Yeah.
1 lime.
And that's your dressing. You
That's
don't
your
even need dressing.
Yes, yes.
Oh, this
so you
is
don't
so
don't have to put any high-fat dressings on top of it. You just got the freshness of the lime.
Right, and it's tasty too.
Yeah.
It tastes good.
Yeah, yeah, it's very good. So I have all kinds of different salads I make like this. I do quinoa salads, and sometimes I do even like rice salads where you add a lot of veggies to the grain, you know. So just makes it a healthy dish to take with you.
Well, this is fantastic. And we have more food to show our viewers coming up next, right, Brenda? So let's give them a preview of what we're going to be talking about.
Okay, so I have some brownie bites I'm going to make. You say brownie and everybody's ready for that. But my granddaughter absolutely loves them, and she helps me make them. They're easy to make, so I want to share that with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
brownie bites, we'll have that up next. We'll be right back, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to this edition of In Focus. We're joined again with Brenda Workman. Brenda has generously brought some ingredients, and she's teaching me how to cook and make some delicious dessert this morning, too. So
It's a healthy choice.
it's a healthy dessert.
Yeah, it is.
So, Brenda, what are we about to do here?
Okay, these are no-bake brownie bites, and I love them because I love them to eat, but my grandkids love them, and I think parents that have children, it would be a really good after-school little treat because it's good for you, you know, and plus it tastes good. So you want me to get started?
Yeah.
All right.
So what do we need here?
So I'm actually doubling this recipe because I really like it a lot, but I'm just going to tell you if you were just doing one, and you could use a blender or you could use a food processor. I'm using a food processor. So if you were just doing one recipe, and like I said, I'm doing two, you would just do 1.5 cups of pitted dates. And you buy dates where the dry fruit is in the grocery store, and you just want to be sure that they are pitted. That just makes it a lot easier. That way you don't have to do that part. And then 1/2 cup of raisins you would add to it.
Okay. Very, very healthy.
Yeah. And then 1 cup of rolled oats, so just the old-fashioned oats.
Good source of fiber, too.
Yes. And then in addition to that is pumpkin seeds. So a couple tablespoons of pumpkin seeds you would add. And you can find these in the grocery store too. They're not hard to find. So I'm going to start by blending this a little bit, and then I'll add a couple more things.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I want to get this crumbly. So I'm
So about how long do you want to keep mixing it for, Brenda, until it's ready?
You know, I just kind of keep looking at it. See where the pumpkin seeds are whole right there?
Yeah.
I kind of want to get them a little crumbly. Let me try a little bit longer. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and add, you can add a protein powder to it if you want to. I did not bring that with me, and I typically don't add protein powder, but if a person wanted to, they certainly could.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to add to this 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. So this is what makes it chocolatey and delicious.
Add some flavor to it. Very nice.
So just cocoa powder here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add a teaspoon, and like I said, I'm doubling up here, but one recipe calls for a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So that's going to give it a really good flavor as well. And then a little bit of sea salt they recommend. So I'm just going to, when they say a little bit, you know, I just kind of go like this.
Just like a little pinch of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready
Okay. Yep. So I'm getting ready to, this time I want to do it a little bit to where it's kind of gooey. And then at the end, I'm going to add some non-dairy chocolate chips to it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just a wonderful alternative to something sugary.
Yes, yes. It's healthy, but it's delicious too. Now what I'm looking for this time is gooey. I want it to be gooey. Okay, it's almost there.
Yeah, getting there.
Okay, now you could leave out, see, like you can kind of tell if I got a hold of that and went like this, it's going to stick together. Let me do it a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to add the chocolate chips, and you could leave this out. You don't have to do this part if you don't want the chocolate chips. And then after I put the chocolate chips in, all I'm doing is pulsing it a little bit to chop those up in there. So we'll do this as well. That's a little noisier. Alrighty.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I could probably do it a little bit longer, but let's see if it's got some gooiness to it. Yeah, I think it does. So we might want to put our gloves on because it does make it kind of...
Yep, I'm gonna put these on.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to get all over your hands. But what we want to do, and the safe thing to do, Melinda, would be to dump it out in a bowl and then start working with it because you got a sharp blade in there.
Right.
Yeah, so all we want to do is get a hold of some of it. And my granddaughter tells me that she does this better than me because she has experience with Play-Doh.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So kids would know how to do this.
So you squeeze it together so that you're making a ball like this.
Okay.
And then you're going to kind of roll it like a ball.
Okay. Squeeze and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's easier to do without gloves. We're trying to do it so we don't make a mess, but yeah. So,
yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, so you're squeezing it together so that the gooiness all sticks together. You got the dates and the raisins and everything there.
Yep.
And then you
squeeze.
Yep, and then you kind of just roll it like you're trying to make a ball. And then they're better if they're refrigerated, and then you know, eat them after they've gotten cold and they kind of harden in the refrigerator. But
yeah, but they are. They're little bites.
Yep.
So perfect for snacking on.
Yeah, little chocolate bites.
And very healthy.
Those are the best kind of bites, right?
Yeah.
Chocolate bites. Yeah.
Exactly, and there's no sugar in here.
No. There's those, it's the non-dairy chocolate chips are in there, but you could leave that out if you wanted to. But most of the sweetness is coming from the dates and the raisins.
Oh.
Yeah. I made some of these recently at a local middle school, and the middle school kids really, really liked them. Yeah, in fact, we had a bunch left over, and I noticed kids running and getting them because there were extra.
See, if the kids give it a thumbs up, then see, adults, you can like these too.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So you can tell this was a double portion that I made, but you can imagine this would probably make like, I would imagine 30 brownie bites. This double portion would, yeah.
Yeah, you could also take this to an event, like a summer event too, and bring this as a side.
Absolutely. And like I said, it'd be great for kids when they come in the afternoon after playing and they want a snack, rather than give them a candy bar, give them something that has some fiber in it and has some nutrition in it.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, I can't wait to bite into one of these, so here we go.
Yeah.
You can taste the chocolate in there too. That's so good.
Yes.
And you can taste a little bit of the fruit, a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's got the pumpkin seeds are good for us as well, so yeah.
So let's share with our viewers again the ingredients on this one.
Okay, so I put in there a cup and a half of pitted dates. Be sure they're pitted before you start your food processor. A half a cup of raisins, a cup of rolled oats, 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds, a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. You could use a couple tablespoons of protein powder if you wanted to add some more protein there. I didn't do that. A little bit of sea salt, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and at the very end, 3 tablespoons of the non-dairy chocolate chips. So you saw how quickly we put that together.
Didn't take long.
Yeah, just measure your things, throw them in there, blend it, make balls. Get your kids and grandkids to help you with this process. And I find that true too, that if kids help you with the cooking, they're more likely to eat it.
There you go, because they took part in it.
They took part in it.
And you said your grandkids love this one too.
They do. They do.
This is great. Well, Brenda, you have some tips to share with us about when you're on the go, because you know that's difficult. If you're on the go and you're out traveling or on vacation, it's tempting to go out and eat some bad food. But you have some tips to help share with our viewers about how to, you know, reduce eating all the bad food when you're traveling.
Yes, I've had to do that because I've gotten off of several of my meds, and so I kind of consider food my medicine now. So I take good medicine with me when I go.
Well, I can't wait to hear about your medicine. We'll have more on that coming up after this break. Welcome back to this edition of In Focus, everyone. We're here with Brenda Workman in our little makeshift kitchen here in the WVVA studio. So, Brenda, we have some amazing little dessert, little bites here, and then we had the edamame salad. And now you're going to show us what you do when you're on the go. So what do we need here if you're traveling and want to eat healthy?
Well, just like I've shared with you before, I got off cholesterol meds and blood pressure meds and lost 60 pounds, and my health got so much better. So when I think about traveling, I don't want to go back to the junky food that I once ate, you know? So I usually check out the restaurants in the area, see if there's healthy options, but sometimes there's not. Sometimes I travel to places where there's nothing to choose from. So we'll start with, if I get in the evening and I'm in a hotel, I always have my little travel bag. This is actually a gardening bag, so it has pockets on the inside, pockets on the outside, and I have paper products and everything that I might need. But I also take this tiny little rice cooker with me that fits right down in this bag. So what I might do is I'll get in and I may say, you know what, I couldn't really find a good restaurant, or I'm tired, I don't want to go out by myself, so let me just fix something in my room. So I fix brown rice in my rice rice cooker, and when it's almost done, I add a can of black beans.
Okay.
And I do rinse them. I know that's strange, but I try to get the sodium off of them. Throw them in there, put the lid back on, let it heat up till they're warm. And then usually I'll have like an onion I brought from home. I may have some a jalapeno, especially if my garden is producing, and I usually have a tomato. So in another little cooler, I have some produce that I might add. So this might be what I would do. So I'm going to open this up. And this has the rice and beans in it, and it doesn't. I didn't put any seasoning in this, so I'm going to add a little salt and pepper to make sure you have some seasoning.
Perfect.
So I've got rice and beans.
And this is just a little rice cooker.
Little rice cooker that I have in the hotel, yeah.
Great.
And so you know, by this time I probably have my PJs on in the room.
Yeah. You're ready to just eat and relax.
That's right. And I'll have a little bit of like a tomato from the garden. This happens to be cherry tomatoes, but it could just be a tomato from the garden. I'm gonna put just a little bit of onion usually on top of that as well. And then jalapenos.
Oh,
and you've told me that you like jalapenos.
Yes, the hotter the better, Brenda.
Okay. So
I'll take a ghost pepper if you have one too.
oh gosh, you're brave.
Yeah.
And so I usually have like a little salt and pepper shaker
That's
that
a
I take
tiny
with
one.
me. Yeah, that I take with me. It's like a camping one.
Oh.
So I'm gonna season it as if it were mine. And then I'll put a little. You like pepper?
Yes,
too?
I like pepper.
Okay. So, ooh, I got a lot of
that's
pepper right
great.
there. Yeah. So you may want to mix it just a little bit and then try it and see what you think. Yeah. And you can always adjust it. I also have cumin in my bag that I take with me, and I may add that as well.
Wow. That's very tasty, and I can imagine this would be filling with the rice and the beans and the protein.
Yeah, you could actually fix exactly how much rice you're going to eat for the night, you know, so it's usually 1 part rice, 2 parts water, so it could be however much you wanted. And then I throw that can of beans in there, and then I usually I have more than that, and I fill my plate up, and that's my evening meal.
Oh. And this is fantastic. So if anyone wants to get started and bring their little travel kit with them, let's talk about what they'll need to get started then.
Okay, so let's say that in the morning I get up and I've already noticed that the hotel just has pastries for breakfast, you know, junky food, and I don't want it. So in my travel bag, in just a plastic container, I bring oats with me. And so in the rice cooker, I'm going to put 1 part oats, 2 parts water, and I'm going to make me some oats. And I typically take an apple with me, and I chop it up and put it with my oats.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and it just takes a few minutes to cook my oatmeal. And then I sometimes have like a sweetener with me, like agave or maybe maple syrup, and I add a little to that. I also have down in here some walnuts, so I might add some walnuts on top. And I typically bring cinnamon, have a little spice, a few spices in here. So I'd add cinnamon. Delicious oatmeal for breakfast, you know. So again, I typically bring always brown rice with me, so I have a container of brown rice, and then I usually have some type of beans. And I try to get the pop lids so I don't have to open them in the hotel room. They just pop open, you know, it's not hard. And then I have, you know, lots of cups and plates and things that I'm going to need. I also bring like dish detergent so I can wash it up. Yeah. But you know, people think I'm crazy by doing this, but this is the reason why. Food has become my medicine, and I want to be healthy and have a good quality of life moving forward. And the reason I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol is because when I traveled, I ate a lot of junky food. I stopped at fast food restaurants and I didn't eat well. I remember one time going in a hotel and getting like nabs and M&Ms and going to the room, and that was my dinner.
Wow. Yeah. And that's not filling or healthy for you.
It's not. And I didn't feel satisfied at all. When I eat something like that, I feel very satisfied, like, oh gosh, I just had a good, healthy meal, you know.
Yeah.
So I do it everywhere I go. I call it my travel bag, and it goes with me. And then I usually have a little cooler, just a small cooler that maybe has produce in it as well when I go.
Now, I know, like, it's good to have water too, right? So the more water you drink, the better off you are, and that helps with weight loss. So what are you doing as far as, like, water intake and things like that?
Yeah, I have like a water container that I refill all the time that keeps my water cold, and I always take that everywhere I go. And then I have noticed a lot of hotels do give free water now, so I usually get free water. If they don't, I purchase water usually after I get there. But yeah, I make sure that I'm being well hydrated as well when I'm traveling, you know.
And Brenda, we have just a little bit of time left, about 1.5 minutes. What advice would you give to our viewers this morning who they do want to get started and have a healthier lifestyle?
Well, I always tell people I think education is the most important part. And anytime somebody's getting ready to make a decision, that's what they do first, is they gather information, right? So you just start reading on what are some healthier alternatives for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. What could I do as I travel that would benefit my health? What could I make at home and make it work? What could I feed my children that would be healthier? So you start by gathering information and trying recipes, just trying recipes. And eventually, little by little, it becomes a habit, and then before you know it, that's just part of who you are.
And you can connect with Brenda on social media, so let's go ahead and share the contact information for folks.
Yeah, so BrendaWorkmanSpeaks.com is the website, and then on Facebook and Instagram, you can follow me there. At Brenda Workman Speaks, and I share lots of pictures of healthy food there just to give people ideas and motivation of what they can make. It doesn't have to be complicated. People think, they'll think, oh my gosh, I can't chop vegetables, I can't do this, I can't do that. There are ways to do it in a more simplistic way. I think where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right. You just have to get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Brenda, thank you. All this food has been delicious. I really appreciate you taking the time to share more information with our viewers this morning, and hopefully they can jumpstart their healthy lifestyles as well.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for trying my food.
Oh, it's good. I'm going to keep eating this even after this episode is over. So, all right, that does it for us this morning. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you back here next Sunday.